I would use it each month post-weaning for about 5 days. And what this does is really support the calves on a constitutional level. So what we're trying to do is build better, more resilient animals that tend to be a little bit more robust, going through that their first year of life, really. Because when you think about it, as long as you're hitting weaning to weight, and then from there, the next challenge that the cows will deal with is feed. So as long as the grass and everything that you're offering them is the best that you can. Obviously, any feed changes, weather changes, things like that will have a direct impact to the calves. So what we're wanting to do with homeopathy, especially using the calf combo, is just to strengthen that animal, from inside out. So, it has a real assimilation for, the nutrients, I suppose, because you've got the calciums, the calcareas in that remedy. You've got lycopodium, silica is traditionally thought of as for the runt, of the litter. So any calves that, just don't do so well, that's where the silica basis comes in. Lycopodium is a really big kind of liver digestive type of a remedy. So that's going to support all of that when you think about the cows or the calves, they have 4 stomachs. So by supporting all of those, you're only going to do the animal so much, so much goodness in their life, I think. And probably not goodness is a word, but so much good, for their growth. So the other thing with that, pulsatilla is another remedy in there. And again, that's really good around any feed changes, things like that. But also the other side to pulsatilla, and a lot of these remedies have that mental and emotional aspect, just helping, because we obviously give these to people as well. But so calves as babies, you're wanting to support them, helping them through any anxiety, any fear, stress, kind of stress related issues. So by giving them the calf combo, you're trying to, reduce that susceptibility that they, can have towards the bad weather, maybe some feed changes, any sort of stress that comes into their world in their first year of life. Because you're needing to, grow them as well as you can, as fast as you can within reason, because you're wanting them to hit their kind of weights going forward, so that then they grow into really good heifers, because that first kind of 2 years of life is pretty crucial for a heifer replacement in particular. They've got a lot of, what would you say, yeah, they've just got to hit their targets more so. Otherwise, a heifer that's not fully grown, hits the herd. They just don't compete well in a big mob often. Often a heifer that hasn't done so well as a calf, could be up to, oh man, I've seen some at 40 or 50 kilos less, than some of their, kind of counterparts, their, kind of um, well, birth group, you'd probably say, year group. So you don't, that type of animal traditionally, she'll calve, but to get her back and calf might be another story, because then as heifers, they start teething, you've got a lot of competition that they're still growing, and then you've got to get them back and calf, and if they're challenged by the way that they haven't grown so well, they're already behind the mark. So unless you put her on once a day, you're going to battle to get her from a 2-year-old into a 3-year-old that's in calf. It's just that simple.